Good morning, good morning. I'm back from toilet time. Good morning. Can you help me real quick and let me know how I can get the data indicator work on my charts? On the chart pull that up on. I only know of it on TradingView. Other platforms, maybe like NinjaTrader and things like that. I'm not sure. Not too familiar with those. But on TradingView, you just simply look up the indicator here, and this is the one. Higher time frame power of 3. I hope that helps. But let's get into it. Let's start with YM. Let's start with YM today. So YM towards that 10 a.m. macro session obviously ends up following NQ and ES to then basically fill this whole gap. I believe ES does it. Yeah, ES and NQ do it. YM almost fills the whole thing. For those who were in cells, that was actually a really good sell to take there. Pre New York, it's a lot cleaner. Post New York, you really have to hunt for some sort of entry on the smaller time frame. But going into today, right? Asia London, my bad, excuse me, I'm still a little sick. Asia London still kind of just has upward movement without any form of retracement, right? Very interesting to see what happens here, right? And I say that because if this is going to be a potential New York reversal, then we just gotta wait till 9:30, right? But a New York reversal from over 500 points, like, do I really want to favor that? Not at the moment. Again, we'd have to wait till 9:30 and even after that to kind of let the PD matrix show its hand, letting me know that this is okay with obviously clear SMT. Right, and when I look at it from a daily PO3 standpoint, it looks like it potentially played out. Again, more time will tell when it comes to this like type of potential profile like be in the works. ES, right? ES kind of has a similar thing, but the only difference is that we kind of reverse. So if this is a true reversal to the upside, then YM is just going to continue higher too, essentially. And do we know how much higher? Hard to gauge because it's already moved about 500 points. So I wouldn't really want to be in this if I'm long today. Now, if I'm long on this, I would have loved to seen the previous session high be held before actually taking it. And why do I say that? Because then we kind of have to go through all this and see how price reacts off of it. But again, if the PD matrix shows its hand for the upside, then that's what we're gonna play today. Right? I like ES so far, only because its momentum is coming from YM. So if YM does want to go higher, it looks like ES will too, targeting this high here. Right? Obviously, we could grab standards. Excuse me. So if I'm grabbing standards, something like this, and 4 standards lands around this high, right? A lot of range there. And it is Tuesday, so maybe we start to think, okay, potential Tuesday low of the week with SMT at the lows to then see higher prices the rest of the week. But we're not trying to forwardcast too much on that, being that it is Tuesday. We confirm daily profiles like Wednesday and then for sure the close of Wednesday if there is one. But I do see a scenario here where ES could potentially go higher, right? Kind of just like the continuation. Excuse me. I'm gonna wait till 9:30. Kind of want to see if there's some form of retracement, see how price reacts. I need more. I need to see more. And I say that too because of NQ. right? NQ doesn't really give me much, right? So London makes that low, and then we kind of just consolidate from there. I don't know if some may see that as a reversal because it's the London low, and we kind of just haven't gone lower, but I just think it's consolidated. So if that's going to happen, and we are going to be long, I see a scenario where NQ sweeps this first, right? And then we kind of get that long entry from there. And I kind of like how that lines up here with the potential 1 hour in the making, right? Get one last sweep, but then it completely flips, right? We just gotta wait and see what price does there again at 9:30. Excuse me. And if that sweep is going to come, or any form of sweep, doesn't really have to be that low, then maybe ES stays parked in real time, stays parked or comes lower until NQ sweeps it before continuing higher. And I don't want to be in a trade at that point for ES. So that's why I'm not hunting for a trade right now. Even though 9:30 could take off, that could be the case. And if it is, so be it. But I also understand what NQ could potentially do here at this point in time. And I would hate to be in a trade, get swept, right? Become that liquidity, and then price ends up continuing higher. Especially too, that there's so much range here, right? On ES, we're talking 68 points, which is a lot. And from an NQ point of view, doesn't even fit on the screen, but over 500 points. I might play shorts off the 4-hour order block or the Asia low. There is no Asia low. There's London low. And you could try it. I mean, for those who want to go long, definitely measure standard deviation, right? If this wants to form, it'd be something like this, just so you get an idea. And when we line that up, right, it becomes a little above that 4-hour. But again, kind of just a waiting point. See what 9:30 does. See how it shows its hand. Maybe YM does want to reverse. Now we're currently in this daily, but I believe we're above the mean threshold of this daily. Yeah, way above it. So that's a potential indicator that it's going to be disrespected, or it could potentially be disrespected. And yeah, Monday was definitely a lot cleaner, right? Today, it's not looking the ugliest, but it's not looking the cleanest. So we need time on our side to help us understand what the narrative is for the day. And sometimes too, you got to understand, once we have a very nice clean day, the next day may not always be the greatest. So it's just about staying patient here. But if I had to guess, I'd probably be long, just based off what I see. Right, nice little London reversal here, New York continuation. YM is kind of in its own world to think it's going to completely flip back down over 500 points. Maybe it could happen, right? NQ, if you're seeing it from a bearish point of view, I don't see a profile that lines up with it. And yeah. And for all we know, maybe NQ is the one telling the truth right now, and it's just one of those days where it's buy low, sell lower. That could be the case, but just again, have to wait and see. I need to get new headphones. I have like the little cushion part in the right ear falling off already, and I'm just like pushing it back. Alrighty. Let's see. Let's turn off this music. Let's lock it in a little. Tuesday, no news. No news today. Okay. Yeah, nothing good. Consumer sentiment at 10. Wednesday. Nice, nice. Juice. Interesting. A breaker here. One minute till open. Let me. I'll do that after. That would be pretty wicked though if YM does reverse this whole thing. You join the Discord and the YouTube. I think I tried it once and it lagged a little. Now we just wait. I'm curious to see if NQ is gonna sweep this and then how it reacts off of that. Excuse me. I'll probably look at MES. Let me organize it really quick. Should have done that prior. Obviously, we'll keep the good old FIFO up at the moment. One thing I will say, Juju, that I realized, you said you're gonna play the shorts off the 4 hour order block. Um, you shouldn't expect price to get there due to this order block here still being disrespected. So you would kind of want this to be respected to then see lower prices. In a scenario where this gets disrespected, then we created a 1 hour bullish order block. Now, at that point, you're kind of like biting the bullet. Eesh. Damn, wine would have been a lot nicer if sells is the move. If it would have swept one last time. It was there. I was taking the pre-market, but I clicked the wrong button. I don't get you. I don't understand what you mean. What do you mean? Weekly into a monthly. See you later. But still got time. Sometimes when I was waiting for a trade, I used to gamble on the stream, but then I stopped. I think that was messing with me. I think I was still having the gamble mindset once finishing that, going into the trading. I think Zoe used to be in on my streams. Yeesh. Say yeesh. Delbert. If you are sells on ES, I think this is a clean entry right here. 1 minute tap. Then take out these lows. Wonder what that looks like from our perspective. Oh, yeah, nice. 137. Lower prices for NQ. Where does NQ want to go? To these lows? Maybe even leave those right here. Tap of the daily. Little combo there. Daily FG, daily order block. Where do you potentially snipe a sell entry on NQ? 9:30 opens. I guess maybe you take a stab here after this sweep. But even then, at that point, those R's don't line up if you're aiming for this low. Unless you see something lower, then you're still in this trade. Unless you take the tap here. Nasty. Nasty, nasty. Uh-oh. Is the party getting started? Uh-oh. Did I speak too soon? While we wait, guys, for those of you who aren't subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate if you subscribe. Completely free. I'll be doing a 25K account giveaway at 100 subs. So just click that link. I'd really appreciate it. And thanks for tuning in. Now, if you are wanting to know more about trading, I believe I have the link in my profile for the Full Sweep Discord. Again, completely free. Always dropping free sauce in there. Um, and yeah. On and on and on. Should have made breakfast before. some tones. keys. See what happens here. For a second, I clicked on this. I thought it was YM. I was about to say, holy YM. Uh-oh. Fighting again. They're fighting. Are you in here? Are you in the live? Please report to the principal's office. Thank you. It's happening. Well, looks like we're just vibing. Could have been the start of something, but it isn't. And again, Lion being the strongest pair for longs, not long in that. Excuse me. I'll give another 5 or 10 minutes before I get off. Nothing good to see here. Alright, guys. I'm gonna kick rocks here. There's not much to see. Would need to see a lot for price to show that it wants to long. And I think the sell objective is already out the way. So if price does want to continue lower, so be it. You can do whatever it wants. I will be logging off. But nonetheless, I'll be on tomorrow same time. So see you then, and I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Peace.